What's going on, Charles Botenston? Just wanted to make a quick video. I've talked about it in other videos about self-development, and really it's just getting into what you like in self-development. I'm not going to force you on any topics or anything else like that, because that's not really self-development. Self-development is where you study things that you want to learn about, and it's crazy enough is that you look into a subject that you don't know that much about, and then you'll notice, wow, this is really interesting. Say for me, it was physics, and then I moved into accounting, two areas that I literally almost failed out of high school and in college because I didn't know at all. But one of them, I've started getting into is biographies. And I just read about the Commodore, who's Cornelius Vanderbilt, and I'm moving on to Jerry Weintraub. And in Jerry Weintraub, in his book, and this is what the whole video is going to be about, is that you don't need anything. And I'll get into it. So Jerry Weintraub in there, he's, 10, 11 years old. He grew up in the Bronx, at that time, still is, not the ideal place to raise a family. And he says in there that he saw this jacket in a local store, really wanted it. He saw it every single day he passed on the way to school. It reminded him of James Dean, and look up James Dean. James Dean was like the ultimate badass way before my time, but forgot the name of the actual movie that he was in, that he reminded him of the red jacket. But he goes, "Dad, can I get this?" And his dad goes, "Yeah, sure." And he goes, "Okay, we'll need your money." And he goes, No, that's not how things work. You have to go make money to then come back and buy it." And that was one of the biggest lessons he learned, not because he had to go out and make money and earn it, because obviously if you just are given something, whatever, knowledge or anything, you're not going to appreciate it. I talk about it all the time because I look at my nieces and nephews that are, like 5, 6 years old, who didn't earn any of the things because they don't do chores. They don't go out and they don't do, and obviously I'm 31, so I'm sounding like my parents, but they're like, you didn't really work for whatever. But it's true. It's like, if you don't work for something, say grades or money or whatever, if you didn't work for what you're getting, then it's not as sweet. So the people that really, really appreciate it are the ones that they're on the podium and they start breaking down because they know the blood, the sweat, the tears that they put into it to actually earn it. So his dad said, go out, get a job, and then you can go and get the jacket. So the biggest lesson wasn't actually him going out and getting a job and then coming back and buying it. What he noticed is that it was a means to an end, and that the means to the end, in other words, there's a means to working, and the end result is buying something or getting wealthy or getting a house or giving back or charity. That's the end. But this is the most important thing he noticed, is that it's not the things that you get. And obviously I've talked about this. It's not the external things that I've talked about. But in the book he goes, it wasn't that the jacket was the best lesson he's ever learned, but that it's a continuous journey. I don't think he used that word, but he said it was a continuous just means to a different end. In other words, a means to, and he's produced Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, he represented Sinatra, John Denver, Elvis Presley on tour. Like the guy had an amazing life. And he said that it wasn't the jacket that made the most impact, it was the working. And it was interesting because if you think about it, he got the jacket and then he said he lost it. And it wasn't a big deal because he noticed he earned it and that he can earn it again. And I literally put the book down and I was like, wow. I was like, he wanted that jacket so bad. He got the jacket. And then he noticed that it wasn't about the jacket. And it's the same thing for you. And it's not, you don't need anything. What do you need right now? Someone will say a nice body, money, a new phone, a car, say clothing, a business. Ironically enough, two things. One is, and as he said in the book, is that you're going to look back, and he was 72, he's dead now. But at the time when he was writing the book, he said, you look back and all you have are the memories. And it's not the memories of the jacket or the business. It was you building the business. It was you working to get the jacket. It was you studying to get the good grades or to make the sports team. So whatever you need, just know that you don't actually need that. And this is deep. This is going to get really deep because I started thinking about it. It's like, what are the things that I need? You know, it's the new iPhone's coming out. And I'm like, I need it. No, I don't. I'm talking into a perfectly working one right now. And it's like, unless they didn't come out with a new one, like, the one I have is fine. Like, and this is the thing. There's really two aspects to this. Is that the reason we think we need it is because it will fill a void or a gap. That's really happiness right there, is that we feel that we get something, it's going to fill our emptiness. And really happiness is us, and I'm going to make a complete video about this. And happiness really, we think, is a fleeting moment. It's about something that happens to us, like at an event or a concert or school or during a sports game, or you win a trophy or whatever. But really, it's created internally, and I think I've talked about that a little bit. But ironically enough, if we don't have that happiness, or we have a void or vacancy, we feel that something external, like a phone or friends or making love or sugar or going to the gym or anything, will fill that void. So that's why we think we need something to not directly make us happy, but indirectly make us not be in the state we're in, which is, rewind that and just listen to that again, because that was really deep. That was that was actually, if I could just say so myself, that was pretty profound. And you know what? I get as much pleasure out of making these videos as maybe someone who watches it, because as I'm talking, I literally am piecing together not only what I'm going to say, but I also piece together just so many different areas of life, like Jerry Weintraub I brought into, say, Alan Watts or Dr. Wayne Dyer or Esther Hicks, or, you know, someone else, Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor, or even like modern people like Grant Cardone and, you know, Tony Robbins and things like that. But really, when you're like, just go with me on this journey right now. Is what's something you need? It could be anything. Just think about it for a second. And I'll give you an example of me. You know, I know I gave the iPhone, but what is one thing I need? Here it is. At work, I have a project that I want to get done. And I feel that I need that to be done. And ironically enough, I know, now that I'm thinking about it, is that when that project is done, there's going to be another project. And it's all just part, when we're older, when Jerry, 72, is looking back on his life right now, he said it wasn't the means, it wasn't the jacket, it was him working to get the jacket. It wasn't him producing Ocean's 11 or him calling Elvis Presley's manager every single day for a year to try and take Elvis on a tour, but the actual act of him calling was better than when Elvis said, fine, you could take me out on tour. He said, and then when he took him out on tour, it was the act of putting the tour together. Those are the memories that we're going to remember. Those are the things that we're going to remember. And ironically enough, I'm just going to bring something else into that, is that those are the things we also regret, is that the memories we didn't have, the memories, I think that's why when people say they have regret when they're older, it's all the things that they didn't do. It's not that they didn't get something. It's this, that they didn't have that emotion of trying to get it. So approaching that pretty girl, trying your hardest at school, like myself when I was younger, I don't regret that. It's just I didn't try at all, to be honest. And when I look back at it now, it's like, how far could I have pushed it? How good could my grades have been? You know, what's the best college I could have gotten into? You know, how much in college could I have learned? So that's really, I don't regret that. But if I did, that would probably be it. It wasn't like I didn't get an A. It was the process of actually studying or learning or working out or eating healthy or making friends. It was the actual process that I feel that we're going to regret. And those are the memories that we make, because memories are made from an emotional experience. Like a deeply emotional experience are the ones that we remember most often the almost car crash, or if we are in an accident, or getting dumped or laid off or publicly humiliated or embarrassed. Those are the emotions we remember because it's so deeply ingrained. We don't remember when, we get our finger caught in the door, or, those moments hurt, but those aren't deeply ingrained in our memory unless you lost your finger or something like that. That's why when you look back on your memory, it's what led up to it. So think about things that you need and just know that you don't actually need that thing. What you really do, ironically, backhanded, indirectly want is the process leading up to that thing. And that thing could be anything, whatever you want. Good grades, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, more money, your own business. Anyway, I hope this video made sense because I know I was all over the place, but it's really one of those things that, I've said it literally in every video about being an observer of the world. Be an observer, not subjectively, but objectively. Observe things that are going on, see if it makes sense in your life. And actually, this is the last thing I'm going to leave you with. In the book, absolutely incredible thing he said. Now that I think about it, I would have forgotten unless I actually said it. He said, when he looks back now on his life, he said, every decision he makes, it's things. So he makes a decision to do something. He says, when I spend my time doing something, that means he's spending his time not doing something else. So he literally contemplates every decision. Imagine that. Imagine we did that. Imagine we took that much time to contemplate our decisions and our activities and our actions and what we do. Because ironically enough, when we look back, as he said, he traded his time to do something instead of doing something else. So that could be going to the gym instead of sitting on the couch, or the opposite, sitting on the couch instead of going to the gym, spending time growing his business instead of spending time with his family. So just know every decision you make, every thought and action that makes you do something, you're taking away time from doing something else. You're horse trading every single time. So have an awesome day, subscribe, and also go to iCharles.com. We're building the largest self-development community. It's going to be based around you guys, videos and articles and forums and products and services. Obviously, it's in its infant stage, but every single day it's going to be growing and growing and growing. I'm going to be thinking of ideas and ways of adding to it and value and everything else. So hop over there, join it if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys over there. Talk to you soon.